today we are talking about four things that we are absolutely letting go in 2024. 2023 is over, and there's a lot of bad behaviors, bad habits, and just bad business practices that we need to completely leave behind. This is the year for me of doing different things to get something different. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing but expecting different results. And this year, my plan is at every single opportunity to do something totally different than I did in the past so that I can get a different result. I want to double my income. I want to expand to more cities and territories in my business. I want my bank account to quadruple. Okay, I want more opportunities. I want to travel more. So whatever that looks like for me to get there, I know that I'm going to have to get totally out of my comfort zone and do some things very different this year because I want to see something different in my bank account. I want my house to look different. I want my cars to look different. I want my son's bank account to look different. I have so many things that I'm wanting to do and that I'm working on right now, and I know that the old me is going to have to be left behind, and we're going to have to get some new things going on. So let's jump right into what we need to do for 2024 to stand on business and make sure that our business is elevated to the next level. All right, so the number one thing that we are going to do this year that's totally different from what we've done in the past, I don't know about you, but I keep a lot of things up in my head, and I write some things down, but I am not as diligent as I should be. Now, Scripture says, Habakkuk 2 and 2, write the vision and make it plain. You want to make it very clear to yourself or anybody else who needs to read what your plans are that this is the plan. A lot of times we fumble the bag, we miss opportunities, and things just don't come to us the way that we should because we're not properly prepared. We haven't planned for those things. We haven't provisioned maybe in the form of either space or gotten rid of certain things. Or, we're just like, hey, if it happens, it happens. But what are you really doing? What steps are you taking? What space are you making? What efforts are you putting forth to actually plan your business so that you don't get caught slipping, so that you're not out here looking crazy? There is something called proactive and reactive. So sometimes in business, something will happen, something might break down. Say you have a storefront, and it's like, oh my goodness, now I've got this huge expense. It might cost you $800 to fix this machine or fix this pipe or whatever. But guess what? You don't have the money. Everything that you make goes right back into the business or bills or whatever it is. So see, you didn't prepare for what could have happened. All right? Had you prepared and put something aside for mishaps or malfunctions or just oops money or rainy day fund, then you might have had some provision so when something pops up, you're not so caught off guard, the business isn't thrown off, and you're not so easily shaken. That comes from preparation. And wealth comes from preparation as well. I was listening to a podcast the other day where they were talking about they're making plans for 50 years from now. And I'm thinking in my head like, I'm trying to write down plans for the next year, 3 to possibly 5 years, and they're talking about 50 years from now. Yeah, I know what I want things to look like for myself for 50 years from now, but if I don't write it down, if I don't make a solid plan for it, and I don't really get about my business today, I'm just shooting from the hip. I might not even be here 50 years from now. But because they're putting plans in place today to be successful and still be operating 50 years from now, they are way more likely to still be there and still be profitable and still be serving people 50 years later. And the people that are making those plans today probably won't even be here in 50 years. But they're planning for the next generation. They're planning for their last name, and that's what you're going to do as well, you and I, for this 2024. Number 2, we're going to stop being a one-man show, and we're going to get out here and not be afraid to ask nobody for help. For the longest time, I wanted to do it all on my own. I felt like taking time to train somebody was going to cost me money, cost me time, and it'd just be a whole lot easier if I just do it myself. When in actuality, me trying to do everything myself was costing me more money. I was limited because, see, I only have so many hours in the day. I only have so many hands. I can only do so much. So when your bandwidth is only here, that means your business, your funds can only max out here. But if I allow myself to invest in somebody, I don't care if it's only 1 day a week for 4 hours. As long as that time that I'm investing in that person, it should make me more money. It should yield me more product made. It should help me help more customers or whatever the task is that you hire them to do. Don't be afraid to spend money to make money and ask somebody for help. We're not one man showing this year. It doesn't do anything for you. It keeps you frustrated, it keeps you tired, and it keeps you burnt out. I love my printing company, right? Love my printing company. But there was a period of time there where I refused to hire anybody. I kept putting it off. And you know what happened to me? I got burnt out. I got so burnt out that I didn't even want to come to the office anymore. But whose fault was that? Mine. That was my fault. That was a position I intentionally put myself in. For what reason? Being stupid. Thinking that I could master and do everything, and even when my business was growing and we're getting order after order, yeah, I'm getting orders like crazy, but I can only do so much in a day. So what did that lead to? Orders being late, customers being frustrated, Lisa being tired. Then what did I have to do? I had to, in the clutch, get somebody in there to help me. You don't want to do business like that. See, that's poor planning, and that's trying to be a one-man show. They are not giving awards for burning out or for being a one-man army. Please keep that in mind all 2024. The third thing that we're doing is implementing structure systems, okay? Structure and systems in our business. A lot of people are still side hustling. You're still accepting Cash App. You're still writing things down. You're still texting people, letting clients call your personal cell phone. You don't have the LLC. We don't have the business bank account. They're still sending information to your personal email. You don't have a legitimate payment platform. You're not actually keeping books so that you can properly file things on your taxes. You're not using apps and software so that you can communicate properly. You're side hustling. You have a hobby that makes some money on the side. If you want to continue to side hustle, you can turn the video off and now keep scrolling. This is not for you. If you want to transform that side hustle into a profitable company, learn how to correctly build, run, and fund your business, you have to implement systems. This is the only way that you will be fully and truly respected in your industry. We need structure. We need to know what's the intake process when you get a client in. How are they handled throughout the process until they get the service or the product? What does that look like? Is it automated? Are we calling? Like, what are we doing? Systems and structure. All right, and I'm definitely going to do another video on this because this is so important for small businesses, and I see way too many entrepreneurs who still want to wing it, shoot from the hip, and operate shade tree, and it's costing you money. You might be making some money, but you ain't making the money you could be making, okay? And the number four thing. The number four thing that I need to make sure that we are doing all 2024, and your girl is going to help you with that because this is something that I struggled with for a very long time. We are coming out of our pocket, spending all of our own money to run and fund our businesses, and we are using somebody else's money. That is correct. Whether it's business funding, business capital, which is money, funds for your business. I don't care if it's business credit, business grants, or business loans. We are going to apply for every single thing that aligns with our business. Now, the first thing that we are going to do, we're going to go back and watch my other videos so that you can get the proper instruction on what you need to do for your business to make sure that is legitimized so that you can be recognized by the government, by banks, and any other institution that wants to give you some type of funding. They're not going to give it to you if you're still side hustling. They're not going to give it to you if you're still acting like your shade tree, okay? I want you to get business credit, which they will give you, even if you have bad credit. And make sure you go back and watch my video on that. I did a video on how to get business funding, even with bad credit. There is business funding out here for everybody at every level, whether you're just starting or whether you've been in business for a period of time. So I hope I said something today that helped you and that you are really tapping into what all is capable for you in your business. And to recap real quickly, all the things that we're doing for our business to stand on business all 2024. Number one, we're going to plan our business, okay? We're going to write everything down because that is one of the quickest ways to success. Know what you're doing and know where you're going. Number two, the number two thing that we are doing, we're asking for help. No more one-man show, no more one-man army, okay? Number 3, we are implementing systems and structure so that we can transform our business from a side hustle to a profitable company, all right? We want to hang with the big dogs out here because we also want, number 4, we want funding. We want business funding. And the only way to get that is to make sure that we have systems and structure implemented in our businesses. We're going to get out of our own pockets and we are going to get into somebody else's pockets, and we're going to use this business funding, business credit, or whatever else is available to us because we have an amazing product, we have an amazing service, and we need to get it out to the masses. So make sure that you're sharing this information with another business friend, business bestie, or an entrepreneur who needs to know about this. Y'all, I really love sharing information, and I really love teaching what it is that I have gone through and what I've learned to help make my business better, to go from just scrounging around, just barely making it, to making well over 6 figures. That is not something that I take lightly, and I hate seeing other businesses struggle because I know how it felt. I know how it felt when I was sitting in the middle of my office with the power out and crying like, God, why? Why am I not making it? Why do I not seem like I know what I'm doing? I thought you gave me this, you know? Am I really making a mistake? But in actuality, I was trying to do too much out of my own pocket. I was trying to be a one-man show. I was not utilizing all the resources that were available to me, and some of it was my pride. I felt like, nah, I'm going to pay for everything. I'm going to do everything. It's me. I'm going to do that, and that kept me broke, and that had me sitting in the middle of my office crying out to God, asking him, was I really doing the right thing with this business? And I'm just so grateful for knowing about business funding, learning about business funding, actually having the courage to apply, because for so many years I was afraid to apply. I didn't. I just assumed, my personal credit's bad. They're not going to give me anything. And then once I got that first offer and once I got that first approval, I was like, really? And just to make sure it wasn't luck or fluke, I applied for something else, got that. Applied for something else, got that. Then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You mean to tell me after all this time I could have actually been using somebody else's money instead of going in debt, instead of using all of my savings, instead of borrowing from friends and family? I could have actually been qualifying for funding all this time? Yeah. So once I found that out, when I tell you transform my business, got my lights back on, got me to be able to expand, able to purchase equipment, no longer having to rely on third parties to fulfill orders. I was able to purchase the things that I needed, the equipment that I needed, so that I could expand and do everything in-house. Y'all, don't struggle by yourself. Get this money. All right, so again, I hope I said something that helps you today, dream doers. Go out there and conquer every single day with intention, on purpose, because that's what God would have you to do. Until the next time, make sure that you're checking out my podcast, Dream Doer Audio, on all channels that you can listen to that, Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.